James.
But doesn't this just delay, and I know it is phenomenal that these 4 young women are back home with their families after unimaginable horrors, but it also feels like Hamas still being in power and taking advantage of the Israelis and the Jewish people's reverence for life and for the lives of their people, keeps them in power and delays the day when you could have some sort of multinational force, possibly with the UAE, possibly with the Saudis, coming in and entirely changing the political culture of Gaza. Because as long as things are the way they are, I'm just worried, Sinwar came out of one of these prisoner swaps a couple of decades ago. This just feels like, we're on a repeat cycle here.
That's very true. Yahya Sinwar came out of the release of Gilad Shalit, the prisoner, the hostage that was held by Hamas a few years back. And Yahya Sinwar at the time had no Israeli blood on his hand. He was in prison because he slaughtered Palestinians with bare hands. So those are the people that we're talking about. And I couldn't agree more. The Emirates and the Saudis, everybody needs to come in and help in solving this problem, because this problem of jihadism is not Israel's problem and it's not a Jewish people's problem. This is the problem in the Middle East, and every normal Arab leader in the region understands this and understands this very well. So I'm calling from here to the Saudis to come to the table right now and partner with Israel in solving this problem for the betterment of the entire region and for everybody, not just the Israeli people, but also the Palestinian people. As long as Hamas is in power, as long as Hamas, a terrorist organization that is trying to enact Sharia law in Gaza and take over Israel from the river to the sea and possibly the world if they can, as long as they are in power, the Palestinian people are not going to have a future. They're just not. If they're going to keep resisting the state of Israel's existence, the Jewish existence in the region and their ancestral homeland and their indigenous homeland, we're going to keep having this problem. So I call here to the Saudi government, to the Saudi people, to actually join forces with Israel and solve this problem once and for all in order to bring peace.
Noa, I know you're in LA, but you spend a lot of time in Israel, and I was there just before Christmas and shocked by just how aware the population there is about anti-Semitic incidents here in Australia. Tell me about the way we are seen now and also the conduct of our federal government, the Albanese government.
Well, there's no doubt that what's happening in Australia is shocking, absolutely shocking. And I think I'll tell you this as an Israeli that knows Australian culture really well. For Israelis, Australians always seemed kind of like brothers and sisters, right? We always looked at each other as having a similar culture. We're easygoing, we're very open, we're blunt, we're in your face in a charming kind of a way, right? So Israelis and Australians always seem to me and to a lot of other people that I know very similar. And now Israelis and Jews all over the world and the Australian Jewish community are blown away by what's happening, by the anti-Semitism, by the rhetorics and the attacks and the blowing up, burning synagogues and attacking homes. And it's absolutely shocking for everyone who's seeing this. And this is the price and this is the cost of unchecked rhetoric of anti-Zionism, which is the new iteration of anti-Semitism. They used to look at the Jews and describe the Jews as these untrustworthy, bloodthirsty people and therefore need to be eliminated. And now they're using the exact same rhetoric for Israelis and for Zionists. So calling Zionists bloodthirsty, untrustworthy, it's exactly the same. And this has consequences. So this is a shocking realization and a shocking reality for the Australian Jewish community and for everybody in Israel and everybody in America, honestly. We're not entirely sure what happened to, happy-go-lucky Aussies.
And Noa, just quickly before we go, at the political level, we've got a Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, who has repeatedly voted against Israel in the United Nations in favour of Palestine and has also overturned various Australian policies that were friendly towards Israel. What do you make of the fact that she will be representing Australia at the 80th commemorations of the Auschwitz horror?
Well, this is not just for Penny Wong. This actually goes for everybody. Holocaust Remembrance Day on Monday is also the 80th liberation of Auschwitz. This would do the world really good to look at what real, intentional, and systematic genocide looks like. not the virtue signaling one, not the one that you're calling on your Twitter accounts or X accounts or on Instagram, the actual genocide that had occurred against the Jewish people. And in order to make sure that this really never happens again, we should not think of what's happening in Israel, not call that a genocide. That is a war that was started not by Israel, and Israel fought back hard to grave cost to the Palestinian people, not a genocide. What happened in the Holocaust, that is a genocide. And I hope not just the Australian government, but literally everybody takes this day very seriously and think about what happened in Auschwitz and what happened in the Holocaust and how that is different to what is happening today, how we can make sure that this never happens again.
Noa Tishby, always great to chat to you, and you do have many fans and friends here in Australia, so I'll say happy Australia Day to you, Noa, as well. Great to see you as always.